over here. No, you flipped me off. Come on, coward.
They're frickin' interdimensional invaders, okay? What is that joke? What is that? What is that?
Your brain cells.
I'm kind of retarded. You scare me so. This is the info war.
Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Carter and this is my podcast, A Warped Mind, where we will be discussing Alex Jones, his different theories, and maybe even our own. Today with me I have my first guest, Jack Hardwick.
Hello.
It's good to have you here.
It's good to be here.
And Sidney Wright.
Hello. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
Also.
So, do you guys know anything about Alex Jones?
He's like a big voice on YouTube. I think he has his own website.
Well, he was kicked off of YouTube.
Oh.
And like every social media for some reason, like it was every night.
Alex Jones was born in 1974. He is an American radio host and currently works on his show InfoWars, which features daily uploads of some of his thoughts on world events, fake news, and of course his theories. The show itself has been banned from YouTube completely. It will never return likely due to how controversial some of his thoughts are, which we will be going over today. The show, his website, nets him around 10 million views per month and generates a revenue of 20 million per year. Furthermore, he runs two websites, News Wars, where he calls out other media companies for fake news, which in itself can be considered ironic due to some of his news being fake. And he also runs Prison Planet. Jones describes himself as a conservative libertarian. Others call him a far-right conservative. Alex has also proudly been able to call himself, his main quote is, fought criminal against Big Brother, which is quite an interesting statement. Clearly thinks outside the box.
He's quite a bizarre guy then.
Yeah, definitely, as you will now learn. So here I have the theories. Now, Alex Jones is known to have some insane theories. He's done documentaries in the past where there's one inside the Bohemian Grove he breaks in, and there's a lot of controversial stuff in that. How he talks about how whenever he broke into this place, he was approached by FBI or Secret Service. The cameras weren't rolling. However, for other parts they were. So a lot of people think the whole thing was fake. Personally, I believe it's fake. I mean, the whole Bohemian Grove club, where the all-male club for the world's elite, that's true. It does happen. But as far as the human sacrifice he talks about, obviously, that seems kind of far-fetched.
Yeah.
Unless he has actual footage of it.
Does he?
No, I don't think he ever actually records any of the stuff that he claims. That's why there's no actual evidence to back his claims.
That's a little, yeah.
I thought he was supposed to break in there to get the footage. Seems.
So, the first theory I'm going to talk about is weather weapons.
Okay.
So, Alex Jones is a strong believer in weather weapons. Jones thinks that the president, who is now Donald Trump, can control these weapons. For example, he can create a tornado, and not only can he create it, he can also move it on demand anytime he wants. In May 2013, a tornado killed 24 people and injured 200 more. Alex thinks it was orchestrated by the government and Donald Trump. Excuse me, no, it's President Obama, last name unknown. His quotes are, of course there's weather stuff going on. We had floods in Texas like 15 years ago, killed 30-something people in one night. Turned out it was the Air Force. That's all he really says. Obviously, he's a strong believer that the government controlled the weather stuff. He thinks that Hurricane Irma was actually faked to so there wasn't enough heat on Donald Trump. They created a weather disaster so everyone would focus on something else. So, what are your thoughts?
Well, before we go further, what is Obama's first name? Like, seriously, I don't.
Barack
Barack
Obama.
Oh yeah. Weather weapons. Well, It's kind of reminding me of the film The Core, where they use weather weapons like disable the Earth's core or whatever. I don't know, because I feel like we probably have stuff that can do that. Like not control an actual hurricane, like be able to direct it or whatever, but maybe be able to like generate it in certain areas. Like I believe like there's a certain amount of technology that we're not like aware of. So I feel like there's definitely I think there's some truth to it.
I mean, they did have islands dedicated to like nuclear bombs.
That's true.
So
Yeah, but the fact is that nuclear bombs don't create hurricanes and things like that. And to make a hurricane, hurricanes like generate when with like hot and cold air, like circle around each other. So in order for that, they'd have to have like basically a space laser in order to do something like that. And then
I mean, we don't know they don't.
that's true.
no, and he's just saying that Donald Trump is Thor at this point. He's just controlling.
It seems very political.
Yeah, he is a political man. A lot of his views are, he's kind of, I wouldn't say he's friends with Donald Trump, but he's definitely connected to him. So a lot of some of his theories kind of try to defend him in a way, where some of them like this, he's outright calling Donald Trump a weather god.
He's calling him Poseidon, Zeus.
Alright, so that was the first theory, weather weapons.
Okay.
My second theory is, this is the theory Alex Jones is most well known for and has sparked many memes over the years within the community, and it is the gay bomb.
Ah, now I know this one.
So Jones believes that the government are using water to leak a chemical compound known as the gay bomb, created by the Pentagon, which is turning people gay. The reason that this is a quote...
What do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby.
That's kind of crazy. Eventually, Alex made the headlines even more with this theory when he started talking about the water creating gay frogs.
I'm like, shocked by it, so I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap.
Turning the frickin' frogs gay is his most known quote, actually. The majority of frogs in most of the United States are now gay, according to Alex Jones. The claim was backed with no evidence. However, in 1994, a lab did request funds to pursue a development in a chemical that could turn people gay. However, it never received the funds and was left in the books. But that's not what Alex thinks.
I mean,
There's always worse things.
he does realise that. He does realise that frogs don't have a gender. They can change their genders. He understands that. Like, they can be male and female on a whim.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is true. Like, they, or at least I hope it's true. I'm going to be an idiot. But I am fairly certain that they're able to... Have you seen Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
There's a good example of this in Jurassic Park, because they use frog DNA to fix dinosaur DNA. And then the dinosaurs start changing gender so that they can breed with each other. And it's talked about how, like African bullfrogs and stuff do that.
That's interesting.
That's it. Where were we?
There's less things. There's worse things that a chemical weapon can do. In World War I, they used mustard gas that like burned your throat and your lungs and killed you by suffocating you.
Yeah, but that's simple.
Yeah, that's simple. But then like this, if they actually did make this and used it in warfare, all it would do would turn people gay. If they actually used it.
The problem is, it sounds like it's a possibility when he's talking about like there being a lab that actually wanted to develop this. There's clearly some
I swear they were like it was something to do with the Cold War.
The lab did also want to make stinging mosquito robot weapons to be used in the wars. So.
Oh, how effective!
However,
I don't know if they received funds on that. It wasn't clear.
You know, I doubt it.
I doubt they did receive funds, but apparently I heard them something that like they would be so busy going at it that they wouldn't fight anymore. That's what I heard from the gay bomb.
So as far as the theory, I think Alex Jones is realizing that there's a lot more gay people nowadays, and it's kind of intimidating him a little bit. I think he's kind of old-fashioned in a way.
I think he saw them old documents of them trying to make a gay bomb, and then because the amount of LGBT pride nowadays, that he linked them together, and I don't know where he got the gay frogs from.
I mean, him saying that he has the documents proving that they've been leaking this into the water. That's not true.
I don't know where he got the gay frogs from.
Otherwise, he would.
Some of Alex Jones' theories. What are your thoughts on him all around?
He seems a lot of these theories seem to have some basis, but in general, he seems to latch on to extremes more for publicity than actual theories. I don't know exactly how much he believes in his theories, but it almost seems like he goes to the extreme on almost everything. Because, like you said, he gets 20 million in revenue every year, which is incredible. And obviously, you talked about where he infiltrated, what was it? The
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove, and how you feel it was fake because you didn't have any footage of that, and so does he even even when he was going there and he's talking about all that stuff that happened, does he even believe in that, or is it just a publicity stunt?
It could have been a lot of actors in there as well who helped smuggle him in.
I mean, easily. If he's getting these funds, it's Jack.
Yeah, I think a lot of his theories are just far-fetched, but he does present a good example of one aspect that we have actually got evidence for, is that a lot of people are getting silenced because of their thoughts and that. I don't agree with his thoughts whatsoever. A few things I might have a slight leaning to, but most of it, no. But he was completely shut off from social media and his platform. They nearly took down his website just because he had opinions that didn't fit in with the platforms like YouTube and Twitter and all that. So I think he has a very good. He's an example of how someone can get shut down because of their opinions, and how how controlling some of these supposed platforms can be for people with a different opinion than the platform's CEO.
I'd say sites like YouTube really are strict when it comes to freedom of speech. They don't tolerate that at all.
Which is a little bit ridiculous.
Honestly, Alex Jones, he's quite insensitive as well, especially with the school shooting stuff. It's obviously why he got sued for defamation and such. I think we'll call it a day. I thank you both for coming on to the podcast. It means a lot.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
It was enjoyable.